regards to this, IPOA has noted the strong stand taken by His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, and his administration against extrajudicial activity by members of the National Police Service. We assure Kenyans that the board is in full alignment with His Excellency's position and directives on the matter. As provided by the Constitutive Act, IPOA has taken up for investigations cases for enforced disappearance and extrajudicial deaths to ensure affected families find relief and closure if the investigations find the police culpable of committing them. And even previously, through periodic press announcement, IPOA has reported the launch of several investigations into deaths alleged to have committed by police. These include, among others, killing at Masimba, Kajiado County, this year in June, when the police opened fire on demonstrating Kenyans. Investigations on this matter have been completed, recommendations made, and the Office of the ODPP has agreed with IPOA's recommendation. Recovery of dead bodies from Rivayara, we'll be talking more about that, and all those other bodies. The killing of two brothers in Kejakoma, Embu County, that matter is in court. There is a alleged police killing of a Pakistani national at Tinga Market, Kajiado County, last evening. Our rapid response team has already been dispatched to look at that matter. The name of that Pakistani national is Arshad Mohammed Sharif, aged 50, who incident happened on 23/10/2022 at 22 hours. There are several other cases of alleged police fatal shooting of members of the public, several cases of fatal shooting of their colleagues due to personal disagreements. So even as we read this statement, IPOA assures Kenyans of full commitment to deliver on its mandate and consequently contribute towards professionalism of the National Police Service through tenacious efforts to eradicate all forms of extrajudicial and enforced disappearances. And this commitment includes even collaboration with criminal justice systems, actors, such as the Office of ODPP and civil society organizations, to just ensure that cases of enforced disappearance and extrajudicial killings are attended to and judicial relief given where due. And now I go to the statement, a copy of which will be availed to you. IPOA on extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearance. This is the position of the authority. Under the Independent Policing Oversight Authority Act number 35 of 2011, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, is obligated to hold National Police Service, NPS, accountable in the execution of its constitutional and statutory mandate. Under Article 244 of the Constitution, IPOA is further obligated to ensure that NPS is held accountable for their actions and that they strive for the highest level of professionalism and discipline. In the performance of its functions, IPOA is not subject to control or direction of any person, office, or authority, and this is provided for under Section 4, subsection 1, and Section 34 of the IPOA Act. Pursuant to Section 6A of the IPOA Act, IPOA is undertaking independent investigations into the supposed involvement of DCI, Special Service Unit, SSU, in the disappearance of Zulfikar Ahmed Khan and Zaid Sami Kidwai, both Indian nationals, and their Kenyan driver, Nicodemus Mwania, in July 2022 in Nairobi. IPOA will, as a matter of priority, make appropriate recommendations. Pursuant to Section 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the IPOA Act, IPOA has commenced investigation and audit of recently disbanded SSU, that unit and other units, all formations within the NPS to establish the propriety of the operations and the level of professionalism. IPOA is further keenly investigating NPS action and/or inaction following numerous complaints received of enforced disappearances, abductions, and murders. The following are some of the cases IPOA is investigating to establish police involvement. 1. In January 2022, the authority launched investigations into the incidents in which 25 dead bodies were recovered from River Yara in Siaya County on diverse dates. Having attended all the postmortem examinations, the general emerging trend as cause of death was determined as, out of these bodies, 12 had head injuries, 2 abdominal and chest injuries, 1 drowning, 1 had a head and chest injury, 3 strangulations, and 1 peritonitis. The cause of death for 5 cases was undetermined. Status of these cases: preliminary investigations point out that the nature of injuries sustained or cause of death point to same or similar perpetrators. DNA profiling is also ongoing. In this report this statement we shall give you, you will see there is an annex there, annex 1. You will see those details there. 2. In September 2021, the authority launched on-motion investigations into incidents in which 13 dead bodies were recovered in River Tana on diverse dates. All the bodies were at an advanced state of decomposition and had torture wounds. In addition, 11 bodies had stones tied to them. Status of investigations are ongoing. Preliminary investigations point out that the nature of injuries sustained or cause of death point to same or similar perpetrators. DNA profiling is ongoing to establish victim identities. 3. IPOA is undertaking investigations into 112 victims of alleged enforced disappearance to date. You see that attached to as Annex 2. Pursuant to Section 24, subsection 4, subsection B of the IPOA Act, IPOA shall initiate an inquiry into cases of enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings and support any tribunal, commission, or other initiatives seeking to unravel the cases. Pursuant to Section 6C of the IPOA Act, IPOA is monitoring and investigating police operation in which 11 lives were lost, including those of 8 police officers in Namariat village in Turkana East, to establish how the operation was conducted and therefore make appropriate recommendations, including policy positions. In the course of its work, IPOA provides oversight and consequently investigates the NPS in action, that is the police operations, or inaction, that is refusal to act, and police involvement in matters which are brought to its attention either by lodged complaints or on its own motion. In line with Section 7, subsection X of the IPOA Act, which stipulates that deaths and injuries occasioned by actions of the police be investigated by authority, and Section 5 of the 6th Schedule of the National Police Service Act 2011, which compels the police to report all deaths, serious injury, and other grave consequences to the authority for investigations. IPOA continues to investigate cases where the police are alleged to have engaged in extrajudicial judicial operations, including enforced disappearances and killings. IPOA also continues to face challenges of non-cooperation by some members of NPS. In view of this, the authority wishes to affirm that it will invoke the provisions of Section 31 of the IPOA Act. Further, in instances where it is evidenced, the authority will invoke individual or command responsibility to ensure accountability. Upon completion of investigations, which will be expedited, observing the principle of impartiality and the rules of natural justice as provided by Section 4, subsection 2 of its Act, the authority will publish and publicize its findings and make appropriate recommendations. Lastly, the authority wishes to make a passionate appeal to members of public to come forward and provide any necessary information to support in the aforementioned investigations. The authority also undertakes to treat the information that will be provided with utmost confidentiality and assures of security of witnesses. Having said that, you'll then see Annex 1, which has a list of missing persons received from Yara. And the table indicates that out of 19 families who reported their loved ones missing, 13 of them stated their king went missing between July 2021 to date. And this corroborates with the diver's account and Yara medical superintendent, who both confirmed that from July 2021, there was an upsurge of the number of bodies retrieved in all along River Yara. This is an indicator that it is highly likely that the missing persons might be among the 36 bodies that were retrieved in Yara. That is then the list that I'll give you. You'll be able to see the details of the individuals. I don't want to read them here. You'll also see, according to that table, we can deduce that 8 out of 13 persons reported missing between July and 2021 to date were last seen within Nairobi City. And 2 of them were positively identified by their families at Yala County Mortuary. Others were from Nakuru, Kisumu, Embu, and Siaya. And consequently, the majority of the reported cases of missing persons are from Nairobi County, drawing a conclusion that most of the bodies retrieved from Yara are from other counties. And that is it.